of our business and of our families and of the things that we do, Lord, would be to glorify and honor you. For it's in your precious name that we pray. Amen.
All right, guys. Okay, so Amber and I, we were planning a team meeting, and we were thinking about another guest to have on. You guys know we normally do our team meetings, and we always have a special guest. So one thing that we both heard from several people was, we want to hear from you guys. We want to ask you guys questions. So we decided to do the call this way. So let's go ahead. Amber, do you want to give some instructions, and then I will kind of tell them how this is going to work?
So for those of you joining us for the first time on Zoom, let me just remind y'all that you can see us and we can see you. If for any reason you need to turn your camera off, down in the bottom left corner, there's a little feature that says stop video. There's also one that says mute. We will keep everyone muted through the call to keep down on background noise. Obviously, me and Jana and Linda will be muted. And then if there's a time at the end that we are able to just take questions, then you can unmute. I just hit mute all again as well. So Jana and Linda, you'll need to unmute. We are recording this call for those who couldn't jump on, and we'll be posting it. I think that's probably it. We would love to see your faces, so try not to hit stop video unless you absolutely have to, because otherwise, it's like we're talking to ourselves, and I do way too much of that anyway. So,
yes, we do like to see your beautiful faces. So if you can keep that video going, it really helps us. And if you can participate and smile at us once in a while, that helps us too. So, all right. So you guys submitted a bunch of questions. There was a lot of them. So we have all of them. There was a few that were duplicates, so we're obviously not going to answer them twice. And then I haven't mentioned this to Amber, but a thought I just had, we're going to try to get through as many of them as we can. The ones we don't get through, maybe in the next couple of days, Amber and I can make some short little videos and post those as a reply to those that we don't get to tonight, because I don't want to keep you on here for forever. Okay, so like I said, Linda is going to be our host for the night. She told me earlier she feels a little bit like Alex Trebek. So she's going to do a great job, though. I'm excited. So I say, Linda, what we're going to do is each just kind of go back and forth answering. So if you want to go ahead and get started, and I'll let you throw the first question Amber's way.
Oh, Amber, you are lucky with this one. It's number one. I would love to know, but it's kind of for both of you. I would love to know what each of you have done that was successful. I have tried several different approaches and not had a bunch of success. Thank you.
Well, I was reading over these questions earlier, and there's a part of me that thinks it would almost be easier to tell you what I've done that has not been successful. Maybe you can steer clear of those things. The biggest advice I can give on this one is continue to keep it personal. You are always going to have more success in this business with people that you know versus complete strangers. And that kind of feeds into a couple other questions that we have. Keep reaching out to your friends, your family, and stay consistent. Stay really consistent. I would say that that's probably one thing that Jana and I could both agree on that's helped us, is we just committed to stay consistent. We kept posting, we keep sharing, and there's never a time for us when we'll stop doing that. Just because you reach any particular level, you don't ever want to stop promoting and sharing, because there's always people that you're friends with, there's people that you're family with that need our products. And to us, that's the most important part. Okay, so one thing that I do, and I kind of stole this from someone, and I honestly can't remember who, is when I do a lot of cold messaging to people. So people that have never reached out to me about Plexus before, and I will send them a message. I keep it real short, real breezy. I can put the verbiage to this on Slim Sisters page. A lot of you have heard it before. It's just like, hey, Tammy, glad to see you on Facebook. I love keeping up with you and your kids. I would love to share more with you about Plexus sometime. Let me know when we have a time, when you would have time to chat. I always end it with a question. For some reason, people are more prone to get back with you when you end it with a question. I keep it real light. I'm not going to, and this is also addressed in another question, I'm not going to just plexus, and pounce on them. What did Lori Harrison call it? Tigger pounce on them. I'm going to keep it real light, and I'm going to keep it mostly about them. I love keeping up with you. I love seeing your kids on Facebook. Y'all seem to be doing really well. And just, this is also another question, but I'm normally going to approach plexus with them almost right off the bat, because I don't want to go into like catching up with someone and then approach plexus and then think, oh, well, you were only catching up with me to try to sell me plexus. You know what I mean? Sorry, I kind of just fed into like 4 questions because I've got all these on my brain, but I hope that helps. That message seems to be helpful for me, and I know Jana's kind of used that a little bit. And then I'll let Jana talk to, I want to talk about leading with the business, but I'll let Jana talk.
Sorry. Okay. So, yes, I have, I just got off a team call with Ashley Potter. Ashley Potter, I think, will be Senior Ruby this month. She is a result of a cold message. So you guys know what a cold call is. I send lots of cold messages. I have signed up tons of people that way. In the beginning, I relied 100% on posting on Facebook. I got a lot of customers and ambassadors that way. I mean, I got several. But when I changed my thinking and realized this is all about relationships and I have to put myself out there and reach out to people, that changed my business. So be willing to send those cold messages. Just know that for probably every 10 you send, you might get 1 response. And that's okay. Don't be mad at them. Don't be upset with them. They're your friends, right? You have a relationship with them. So a lot of them will end up coming back. It may take months, but a lot of them will come around and want to try the products or do the business. But cold messaging has totally changed my business. I just sent, what I mean by cold messages is like Amber was just talking about. I just sent one to a girl last night, an old neighbor from our old neighborhood we lived in 8 years ago. I sent her a message. Hey girl, I love keeping up with your boys on Facebook. They are adorable. And then I just said, if you ever want to hear more about Plexus, I would love to tell you more. Just let me know if you're interested. I haven't heard back from her, but it may be 3 months from now when I do, but I'm just telling you that's a cold message. She's never reached out to me about Plexus. So, cold messages work. So that's how I would answer that question for sure.
Well, and it gets that name because of the cold calling.
Cold calls.
Cold calls. So we're not sending cold-hearted messages, but
When you send cold messages, do you follow up on them? I don't. If someone has approached me and I then respond and then they don't respond back, then those are the people I follow up with. Cold messages like that, if they go and like another Plexus post, then yes, I will follow up again. All right, Linda.
Okay, number 2, and it's kind of just what you've talked about. How do you ladies reach out beyond your friends and families? And what is your approach with strangers?
Okay, I kind of feel like Amber would probably be a better for this one because Amber and I are very different personalities, even though we got the same personality results at the leadership thing, which was really weird. I don't know how accurate that was. Do what?
We completely disagreed with the results.
Yeah, that was weird. So I am not go out and every single person, I don't go out with the view that like every stranger's going to be my new best friend. There's lots of times I click with people and Plexus can just naturally come up. It came up naturally today at the gym, and it was a very natural, organic conversation that we had. Some people are great about just going in. Every single person they check that checks them out at the grocery store, they're able to talk to them. I'm not, but I still am, always looking for those opportunities. But I don't try to make every opportunity a Plexus opportunity. If you guys get what I'm saying, I always try to see if the door can come open, and if I can open the door, then I will. But I think that it's you got to remember that this is all network marketing. This is relationship marketing. So if you feel like you have reached out to every friend and family, now I want you to think beyond that, because I want to tell you that a lot of people that are going to join you is not going to be necessarily your best friends. It's going to be acquaintances. It truly, truly is. So many of my level ones, other than like Amber and Linda, and I've got several others, but a lot of them are acquaintances that I've known from past churches, that I've known from schools, that my girls have been in. It's their mamas, that I've known from, gosh, I've got people from like junior high. So they're people that I don't have those close relationships with, but I have sent them a cold message on Facebook. So some people, they're not necessarily a stranger, but not that close relationship. And a lot of them, we now have a close relationship. So hopefully that kind of answers that question a little bit. Amber, do you want to say anything?
I would say too, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because like we've already mentioned, like you're always going to have better results with people People need to be able to trust you. You're talking about their health and wellness. But the team call that we did with Timmy and Jake Yancey, if you haven't watched that, watch that. Just go to Slim Sisters and search Timmy, Timie, Yancey, Yancey. I'll type it in the chat here in a minute. Watch that call. She talks a lot about how she talks to strangers, and she has great results with it. Another one on YouTube, Sonia Dudley. She's got a great video about how to approach strangers. I'll just say it's like Jana said, you have to kind of see if the availability is there to bring it up rather than just, let me tell you about Plexus. Now, I do always keep business cards with me. I pass those things out a lot. But I want to make sure y'all know this. I don't think I know I don't. I do not have one single level one that was a stranger to me before they signed up. So that'll just tell you kind of where, in my opinion, this business is so very relational.
I have got two customers as a result of leaving business cards, but we're talking 2.5 years of doing the business. So it's a very relational business, and some people are great at signing up strangers. It's always been a little bit more challenging for me. So yes, Amber does not know a stranger. That's for sure. All right, Linda, we're ready.
Okay, number 3, what do you wish you would have done differently and why?
You want me to go first?
You're welcome to. I have an answer, but you're welcome to go.
I think that for me, I would have recognized right off the bat how much this is business. It's not personal. And would have learned a long, long time ago that when people say no, they're not saying no to me. They're saying no to Plexus. They're really not saying no at all. They're saying not yet. They just don't know that. But to not take it personally, and that the quicker that I can, suck it up, buttercup, as they say, and move forward, the quicker I'm going to be able to sign someone else on my team, the quicker I'm going to be able to help someone else, the quicker I'm going to be able to, the better I'm going to feel. If I take it personally, gosh, it's going to get me down. People are going to quit. You're going to lose ambassadors. You're going to lose customers. That's okay. You own your own business, and so you have to treat it that way. You have to recognize that if you owned the shop, down the street, people may eventually stop being your customers and go to your competitor, and that's okay. So that for me, when I read that was the very first thing I thought of.
I think that's super great advice. And yeah, I always try to keep that word in the back of my head when somebody else said the word detach. Sometimes you got to put your business hat on. But my biggest regret, is that how the question's worded, Linda? Does it say regret?
What would you have done differently and why?
Okay.
What do you wish you would have done differently?
Okay. What I wish I would have done differently is something we've already discussed. When I first started, I was told to post on Facebook. And I did. I was great at posting on Facebook. Got a lot of business that way. Lost a lot of business because I didn't personally reach out to people. I can tell you, I could sit here and name off names of people who were a friend. But if you guys have ever heard my story in detail at all, Sunday, who I'm personally signed up under, her dad was the pastor of our church. So Sunday signed up. And a lot of people in that church got got plugged into Plexus. A lot of them before I ever signed up. So I missed out on a lot of people because I didn't personally say something to them. And I have a good friend who came to me and she's like, "You never said anything to me about it." And in the back of my mind, I'm going, but you saw me posting on Facebook. And she's like, but so-and-so actually talked to me about it. And man, I could have kicked myself. You know, if you're not sharing with them personally, you cannot rely on your Facebook post. Don't ever stop posting on Facebook, because that is your billboard, and that is how people are gonna know that you are still doing this business. But you have to go beyond posting on Facebook. You will struggle to grow if that's all you do. If you don't personally make the phone calls, send the messages, send the text messages, you're going to struggle to grow. Biggest thing I wish I'd done differently. I wish from the get-go I had started messaging people.
Okay, number 4. I know that Amber has worked for her dad. How in the world does she, or actually is still working for her dad, how in the world does she keep both jobs moving forward full throttle? Sometimes I can't even remember to bring my laptop to work because I'm a wee bit scatterbrained.
You'll notice we're not saying who posted these questions.
No names.
Let me just say, I don't think I do always keep them moving full throttle. And let me also say, my sister also works on Wednesdays at the office, and she has 3 kids. So I would venture a guess that she's much busier than I am. But I don't think I do always keep them both going full throttle. I'm a human being. I fail. I will say that something that I have, yes, and she homeschools 2 days a week. One-upper. I'm just kidding. She's busier than I will just say that one of the biggest things that has helped me is setting some work hours for myself. It was something that I preached to other people to do for a while, and I really wasn't doing it for myself until just recently. And I really kind of learned that at the Jules training that we had here in Dallas. And when people like, Sonia Dudley and Helen McFadden and Lori Harrison and Rosalind Payne start recommending you set work hours, you listen and you start to realize, okay, well, they know what they're doing in this. Maybe it's something I need to try myself. So I set some work hours for myself. I've shared this with a handful of y'all. I also, per a recommendation at that training, turned off the Facebook notifications and the messenger notifications on my phone. And that way, when I'm at work for my dad, when I'm at the ministry, I can focus on what I'm doing there rather than buzz, buzz, buzz to my phone. When I'm with my husband and we're spending time together, I can focus on him. And I think something that, I think it was Jana that said this when we were at the Jules training, said it to me. We advertise a lot that plexus can give you time freedom. But I really felt myself being kind of in bondage to this beast. And if that's the case, that's no freedom whatsoever. So I hope that helps a little bit. I have work hours at my job for my dad. So why would this job be any different? Why wouldn't I set work hours for myself? The hard part is actually sticking to it. And also recognizing that nothing that we are doing in plexus is life or death. No one's waiting for you in the operating table. And if you don't return that message right then and there, they're a goner. That's not the case. Even a potential. Now, don't, keep them waiting for days. You're going to lose them. But I'm saying if you need to wait till you get off work, if you need to wait till you're done with family time or whatever the case may be to return that message, I think that's totally fine. If you have free time during the day and you can return it, then by all means do it. But anyway, that's just some advice from me. And like I said, I don't think I do. I was going to say do. I don't think I do this very well. Now I'm going to laugh at myself for saying I do this. I don't think I honestly have done it very well. And it's something I've struggled with because I never want to feel like I'm cheating my dad's ministry, and I never want to feel like I'm cheating my plexus team. You do have to find that balance, but those little tips that I just gave you, setting the work hours, turning off those notifications, have helped a whole lot.
Yeah, I just want to say too, people are probably going, why are they still working? I don't think we addressed that. We work for our dad. Our dad's an evangelist. And as of right now, we just feel the Lord leading us to stay with his ministry. So we are still there. Amber's there 3 days a week now. She has cut back. And I'm up there 1 day a week helping with the finances. But two things I want to add to that. There's two phrases that constantly are rolling through my head. One of them is, wherever you are, be all there. That's a big one for me. I'm getting a bracelet made with it on it. Really, I am. Wherever you are, be all there. If my kiddo's sitting on the couch over here, then I want to make eye contact with my kiddo. If my husband's here, I want to make eye contact with him and talk to him. I don't want to be staring at a device. Been there, done that. It's not fun for anyone. If I'm sitting in church, I want my mind to be focused on what the preacher is saying. When I'm on a team call, though, I'm all here. When I'm working and sending my messages, I want to be all here. That's when your business is going to grow. So when you do whatever you're doing, when you give it all you've got and you're all in that situation, everything is going to thrive. Your relationships, your business. So the other phrase, I think Amber mentioned this, but oh my goodness, I wish somebody told me this in the beginning. There are no emergencies in network marketing. Repeat with me. There are no emergencies in network marketing. There just isn't. They're just not there. So remind yourself of that when someone's freaking out and they're messaging you because their order is not there and it should have been there, 12 hours ago. There are no emergencies in network marketing. So that's a good one to remember as well.
Okay, number 5. That was great. I couldn't write fast enough. Number 5, when reaching out to people you haven't seen in literally 20 to 30 years, do you dive right in or do you catch up for a few days, messages first, etc.? And I think you both have kind of touched on that a little bit earlier.
If it's someone that I met up with the girl, we ended up meeting at a Starbucks. It's a girl I went to junior high with, so it's been a long time. No, she would end up knowing. I don't want it to be fake. So be genuine and be real. Hey, I'm reaching out to you. Hey, her name was Samantha. Hey, Samantha. I'm so thankful for Facebook. We get to keep up. How cool is it that, we haven't seen each other since junior high? Hey, I know you've had to see that I do this thing called Plexus, supplements that I absolutely love, and they've changed my life. If you ever want to know more, let me know. Just make it real. Just be you. Just be genuine. And so it won't always happen this way, but she messaged me back, hey, yeah, let's meet up. We still live close to each other. Haven't seen each other in years, though. Met up at a Starbucks. We're still chatting. So that's how I handle it. I just think if you haven't seen somebody in 20, 30 years, I think it comes across as fake. If you're like, well, how's it going? What's happened to your life in the last 30 years? Fill me in. And then 5 messages later, you're like, hey, have you ever heard about Plexus? That seems very fake to me.
Okay. Go ahead, Amber.
I agree.
Okay, moving on. Number 6, and this is kind of a long one. It says, I know it works. It has had an increased presence on Facebook. So this is Plexus, I'm sure. Sometimes I am tempted to dive deep into their ingredients and pay plan and all that. Is it worth my time to know my competition, or is it smarter to spend my time diving deeper into our products to build my belief? I always have a lot of questions in case you haven't noticed in the past 2 years.
Jana and I may differ on our answers here. I'm not sure. I think it's smart to know a good amount about our competition, but I don't think you have to know everything about them. I think your time is much better spent knowing our products, our compensation plan backwards and forwards. Because if someone sits down with me and they start talking about It Works, or they start talking about a competitor, Advocare or whatever, I'll listen to them, and then I'm going to tell them what I know to be true about Plexus. I don't know. That's just my take on it. I've never, I know a little bit about competitors here and there. I probably know more about products than I do about compensation plans. But I could sit down and talk with you for all day long about our products and compensation plan and our business and know it backwards and forwards. I think that is definitely more important than knowing the competitor. I think too, you can get so caught up. Yeah, James Alvin mentioned Arbonne and Thrive. There's so many other ones out there. You start researching one, then it's going to lead to another, then it's going to lead to another and another and another. It's going to consume all your time, rather than, sending those cold messages, reaching out, posting on Facebook, and learning your stuff about Plexus.
Yeah, and I just want you to remember the phrase. Remember this phrase, and you come across very confident and that you know what you're talking about when you say this. When someone's saying, well, how does it compare to this? Or how does it compare to this? And just say, you know what? I really don't know exactly what the ingredients are in this product, but here's what I do know. I do know Plexus has this. I do know this is how Plexus pays us. And know our products, know our compensation plan. It's very, very important that you know that, because I don't know. I mean, Avocare is huge around here, and we've got a lot of companies around here that's big. I don't know any of their compensation plans. I've never taken the time to learn them. I feel like that would be a waste of time for me. If I can sit down though with someone and say, you know what, I'm not sure how they get paid, but here's what I can tell you. This is how we get paid, and they know I'm confident in it. That's usually all anybody needs to know. If they really genuinely need to know how this product compares to this, I can do a quick search on Facebook and find it usually. But I don't spend a lot of time researching other products. I just don't feel like it's worth my time. And by all means, never bash another company. Please don't do that. There's a lot of companies, I do not like their products. I don't like all the artificial stuff that's in their products, the stimulants, the caffeine. Do not bash another company. When you do, you're automatically going to turn people off. So don't do that. Just say, oh, I'm sure they have great products. I don't really know their products super well, but I do know Plexus, and this is what Plexus can do for you.
Moving on.
I'm good.
Okay, number 7. How do you balance it all? Family, work, Plexus, and sanity. And I think you kind of hit on that a little bit too. Maybe Amber wants to go on the sanity part.
Yeah, are we saying I didn't know if we were or not?
I don't know. It's more fun when we're not.
I'll be really honest with you. Amber was super open and honest. There's been times in my life doing this business, but you know what? I look back on it. There's times in my life before Plexus that it wasn't balanced. I think we all struggle with that, Plexus or no Plexus. I think there's times we struggle with balancing it all, especially us wives and us mamas. It's hard to find that balance. And I struggled with it before Plexus. So I feel like I need to say that because sometimes people think it's just, Plexus got thrown into your life and everything, so there's times it's crazy moments. No, there wasn't. There was crazy moments before Plexus. There was times I couldn't figure out how it was all going to get done before that. So something I have learned along the way, just like I mentioned before, wherever you are, be all there. So if it's family time, it's family time. If it's work time, though, it's work time. So I just think that that's key. I think it's all here, and you have to purpose. You have to purpose to be in the moment. So you set your work hours. You're going to get out of this business what you put into it. So if you tell yourself, I'm putting an hour into it a day, put everything you got into that hour a day. Let your family know, I'm working for 1 hour. Please don't interrupt me. But after that 1 hour, I'm out in the backyard with you, or we're off to dinner, whatever it is, so that they know, and then cut it off at an hour. Don't keep dragging it out. Cut it off and move forward. God will bless that and honor that, I think. Amber, do you have anything else? I think we kind of addressed this.
I do a very good job of balancing my sanity today, so I don't know that I should speak to this question.
You had a little bit of a crazy day.
Jana's right. I mean, there are times it's going to feel kind of crazy. You do own your own business. You have to keep reminding yourself of that, and keep reminding what we've said before, that nothing that you're doing is life and death. Nothing that you're doing is just this, life or death situation. I mean, it's just not. It can be life changing, sure. But everything that you're doing with plexus, it can wait. Now, that being said, kind of what Jana said, however much you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it. So when you're setting those work hours, make sure it's realistic for the goals you're trying to reach. If you're trying to, hit Ruby or senior Ruby and you're like, I'm going to work an hour a day, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. If you're trying to hit silver and you're working an hour a day, that's pretty good. That's awesome. So just make sure that those work hours are lining up with the goals that you're trying to hit.
Okay, number 8. What do you say to customers who are taking Plexus products and other products, such as Yoli or Yoli and It Works and Advocare, and not seeing the results that they're looking for? I mean, we obviously think that Plexus products are superior.
I would tell them to kick all that other junk to the curb, up their probiotic. No, I'm just kidding. Well, first of all, I would encourage them, and I did this just today with someone. I got a long message from someone, she may be on the call, I'm not sure, saying, this isn't happening for me, and this isn't happening for me. I've been on the products for 5 weeks, but I have lost 6 pounds, dropped 6 inches, and and my sugar cravings are gone. And I literally wrote her back. I didn't address any of the kind of other stuff that she talked about. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've lost 6 pounds, 6 inches, and your sugar cravings have subsided. And she was like, yeah, isn't that awesome? I'm like, that's fantastic. So make sure that your people, whether they're on just Plexus or Plexus and something else, make sure that they are focusing on all the results, not just, I need to lose 20 pounds in a week. The big picture, I have more energy, or my migraines are gone, or I have lost 6 pounds, or whatever it may be. Make sure they're focusing on those big pictures. I remember my pal, Nikki Hickson, who I think is on here, she had not been on the products for very long, and she posted a picture of, I think it was cookies or cake or something at work. And she was like, before Plexus, I would have devoured these, and now I walked right past them. Well, she probably didn't say devour. I don't think she would have eaten all of them. But there's Nikki, so you're laughing. But that's a huge accomplishment to be able to say, this is what I was doing, enter Plexus, and this is what I don't do anymore. That's huge. So make sure you are focusing on all of your successes, the big ones, the little ones, and all the in-betweens.
Yeah, and I think too, this question sounds like they're taking Plexus products, but they're also taking other companies' products. So just, make sure you address it carefully if you even want to address it with someone. If they're coming to you and telling you it's not working, then you can gently suggest these other products and tell them, well, we've got a product that you might just give it a try. But here's the thing. If you go into it and be like, well, you need to get rid of that junk, like Amber said, by the way, she was joking. If you actually say, get rid of that junk, you're going to offend people. And they're not going to then listen to you. They're not going to continue listening to what you have to say if you offend them right off the bat by bashing the product that they just purchased. So just be careful not to do that. I've seen it happen. It doesn't go over well. And so, people spent good money on those other products, and other people told them great things about those products. And I'm sure there's lots of other good stuff out there. So just be careful how you address it, and, gently suggest to them that they might give one more of our products a try.
Okay, this is a multi question. There's several within the one. What do you do when you feel stuck? How do you use samples? Does it work well? What do you do about long-time potentials? How many ambassadors roughly are there by rank? How do you lead people on your team who say they want to build the business but aren't doing much of anything? And what is your DMO, which I'm guessing that is daily method of operation?
Right.
Okay. Amber,
do you just want to go back and forth real quick on these?
Sure.
Do you want to do the first one or me?
What do you do? You go ahead. I'll plan my answers. You go.
Okay. I've been there many times. I just did a call right before this. I have had those major dry spells. I think anybody that's been in this business anytime will tell you there are dry spells and you feel stuck and you wonder if you'll ever sponsor another ambassador. I promise you, if you haven't felt it yet, you will. When I feel stuck, though, what I do is I pour into the people that are still working it on my team. I pour into my customers, and then I get out of my comfort zone. That's the key. Get out of your comfort zone, message people. All it takes is finding that one person that wants to be your customer, or one person that'll sign up with you as an ambassador, to get that feeling lifted off of your shoulders. So also, when you feel stuck like that, it's not the time to sit and sulk and be upset. It's the time to get outside your comfort zone, try something different that you've never tried before. Go post on Facebook 3 times that one day, and it'll make you feel good. When it's all done and over with, you'll be like, all right, I'm getting outside of my comfort zone right now. So you guys can do it. You have to force yourself to do it, though. No one else is going to do it. You have to do it yourself. So when I feel stuck, a lot of times I'll go watch some YouTube videos. I'll go watch a diamond documentary, or I'll go watch a video of someone whose lives have been changed, their health has been changed through our products. That always does it for me. So I think that's important to you just get outside your comfort zone. Think of something different you can do to spark some interest and get things going again.
Awesome. I should have gone first, because I like your questions better than my questions. Okay. How do you use samples? Does it work well? I use samples to either I promote them on Facebook. Hey, I have a few sample packs to give away, and I actually need to find out if that's currently compliant. I'm not sure if that would be or not. But anyways, I use samples when I'm messaging people and they're not real sure about the product. I'll offer to send them a sample. Now, I always, always, always make sure people know that you are either getting like a 3-day or a 7-day trial. Please, you may see some results within that week, but please know you're probably not going to lose 20 pounds in a week. Okay. That's honestly, I think, what some people think is going to happen. And I don't want to set them up with this false hope. A huge part of the sample pack is so that they can taste the pink drink. And a lot of times they will notice more energy, and that's big. That's really important. So that's the main way I use samples. I don't have, like, I've seen little business cards where you can attach a sample of Slim to it. I don't do that. Rarely do I just, as I'm talking with a complete stranger, give them a sample of Slim. I think I've done that like twice. But that's just me. I know other people that do it, and they probably have great results with that. I don't think that there's a right or wrong way to really use samples, as long as you're getting it out there to people, as long as you're now, I will say this, never have I ever sent someone to my website to go buy a sample unless we're doing that 7 days of plexus, or is that what we, 7 days of plexus deal. That's the only time I would send someone to my website to buy a sample. I will encourage people, I'll tell them, we have these sample packs, but I will encourage them, or you can sign up as a preferred customer. You can try our products for a full 60 days. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee with these. Why wouldn't you do that rather than try them for a week? Let me see. Someone posted a question. Do you always send 3 or 7 day? I send 1 to 2. I like the actual sample packs, and there's not a 1 or 2 sample pack. I like it looking a little bit more, that's just me. I like looking a little bit more professional rather than, here's 2 sticks of Slim or whatever. And again, that's just my preference. So if I'm going to send a sample, it's the actual sample packs. And I will, if I'm sending sample of Slim and Accelerator or whatever, I'll throw in there whether they've asked for it or not. If I have a little packet of the Ease cream, the sample of the Ease, or the body cream, I'll toss that in there too. I want them to know we have other products as well that they may not be aware of yet. Jana?
Okay, the next question is, I lost it here. Okay, what do you do about long-time potentials? Well, I keep following up with them. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. I can't force them to sign up. And it's very odd to me, the thing I've seen happen over and over is the people that you talk to for months and months and months and months, and you offer them every special under the sun, and you make them aware of, I mean, you do all but like sign them up yourself, you know. You've offered them specials. You've offered them personal specials. You've told them about everything Plexus is doing. And then one day out of the blue, when there are no specials, they'll call you and be like, I'm ready to sign up. And I'm like, okay, well, where have you been all this time? You know, I can't, I wish I could figure it out, but for some people, it's just got to be the right timing for them. It's just got to be the timing in their life when they're ready. And one thing I've learned, there's people.
Oh, there's clothes on.
Oh, we got a lot of people unmuted, Amber.
Put those clothes on. Come on.
Did you get it? I don't know why that tickled me.
Something about go put clothes on. I don't know what to keep it G right.
Okay. I'm gonna try not to get tickled. Okay, hang on. Get your composure, Jana. Okay, so where was I? Okay, hang on. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
Okay, hang on. Oh, this is embarrassing.
Hold on, Jana. Keep
Okay.
following up. They have to get past excuses in their head. They have to get
Yes.
past things.
And some people just okay.
Let's
some
all give a
people-
round of applause.
Okay.
Diamond Upline, you guys. Diamond Upline. There she is.
I'm crying. Okay, it wasn't even that funny. Some people are not ready for success. That's something I've learned. You think everybody is ready. Like if you could give them something and be like, you can be successful if you do this. Some people just aren't ready. They're not ready to actually get healthy. They're mentally not ready. They're mentally not ready to lose weight. And a lot of people just mentally aren't ready for this business, and it has to be the right time in their life. So go ahead.
Oh my goodness. They're mentally not ready. Okay. Anyway, the next question says, I promise y'all, if she and I were sitting next to each other right now, it would be 100 times worse. This happens. Jana works at my dad's office every Wednesday. And nearly every single Wednesday, we'll go out to lunch. Every week on our way back to the office, you would swear we had something stronger than water at lunch. Like, we are hysterically laughing. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Okay. The next question is, how many ambassadors roughly are there by rank? I have no idea.
There's like 300,000 ambassadors. Is that what they told us, Amber?
Yeah.
And that one pay chart tells us the percentage of ambassadors. So that's how I would tell. You don't know the answer to this question, Amber? And you're a Sapphire? I'm so embarrassed.
I don't know that one.
I'm just teasing.
Okay. Ooh, I like this question.
How do you encourage lead people on your team who say they want to build a business, but they aren't doing much of anything? Do you want to answer it, Amber? You can go ahead.
Sure. Okay, people that say they want the business, but they aren't doing much of anything. Here's kind of how I would answer this and how I treat this. If I see someone, I mean, I'm going to train everybody when they sign up, okay? And I'm going to, my level ones, and I'm going to make sure they know what to do and how to do it and all of this. But if I see someone that's just telling me, I want this, I want this, I want this, but they're giving it, 20, 30%, I don't want this to sound mean. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I give more tough love than Jana does, but I'm probably going to give back to them 20 or 30%. And I'm going to look at those on my team that are really diving in and they're giving it their all and they're giving it 100%. And I'm going to give to them 100%. I'm going to ask them how they're doing. I'm going to see if there's anything I can do for them. I'm going to do Zoom calls for their team. I'm going to put them on leadership calls. I'm going to do all those kind of things. So honestly, I learned this from Celeste. I was on a call listening to her one time, and someone asked her pretty much the same question. They were asking, how do you engage people that seemingly want nothing to do with the business? And she just said, I don't. And I was like, okay, I'll stop trying. So all of that to say, a common phrase we use a lot, run with your runners. And if you're out there going, I don't have any runners, well, then you haven't gotten them yet. They're not on your team yet. They're still out there waiting for you. They don't know they're waiting for you, but they are. So run with your runners. Those people that really, really want this, dive into them. In your entire team, you're going to have about 20% working their business. You're going to have 80% that are either wholesale ambassadors or maybe they're what this question is talking about, and they're saying, I want this, but they're not putting forth the effort. You're going to have about 80% of that. That's a lot. Focus wholeheartedly, focus 80% of your time on that 20% and only about 20% of your time on the 80%. And it's that way in any network marketing business. That's not just true to Plexus. And like Jana said, some of those folks got to get past those excuses in their head. They're mentally not ready. I cannot believe you laughed right when you said that phrase. That made me laugh. But they're just not. They have to get past some excuses in their head. I don't have the time, or I don't have the resources. I don't know enough people. Y'all, Sonia Dudley lives in a town of 400 people. She's Sonia freaking Dudley. Okay, she's Diamond, and she is a leader in this business. To say you don't have the time, Wendy Larson has 11 children, and she homeschools all of them. Okay, 11 kids. That's crazy. So all I'm trying to say here is focus on those ones. I feel like I'm fixing to start preaching a sermon. I need to wrap this up. But focus on those ones that you know are really, really wanting this. And if you're new and you don't have one of those yet, keep recruiting, because I promise you they're out there. Promise you they are.
Yep. I like what Terry said. That's what I tell my new people anymore when they sign up with me. You give a little, I'll give a little. I'll match what you put into it. So if people get into it and they can't respond to my text messages, they can't get back with me, their desire's not there, then it's, there's not much more I can do. I can't want it for them bad enough. The last one was, what is your DMO? Well, some days it feels like I don't have one. I'm just being real. If you guys haven't figured that out, me and Amber's just pretty real here and pretty honest. Your DMO will change greatly over time. And one thing I'll caution you against is to not ever get into management mode with your DMO. You constantly want to make sure somewhere at some point during your day you have gone back to the basics and you have turned your mind on to recruiting. You always want to be going back. You have to be going back there. As your team grows, though, you will get it. You'll have to do more trainings. You'll have to help take care of situations and issues that come up. That's part of my DMO now. But I constantly keep thinking, I got to go back. I got to go back to the beginning. I got to go back. Do I have any potentials right now? Who can I follow up with? So I'm just being real with you. I've never had a super strict DMO. I just, I put them out there for you guys. I have a lot of people that are a lot more organized than I am, and they need a bam, 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 here's my plan. I don't have one of those because my days, every single one of my days during the week are so different. I don't have a super great routine just because of my family schedule and that kind of thing. So when I sit down to work, I know what I need to get accomplished for my team. I know what trainings I need to do for my newbies. And then I know what I want to try to do to follow up with potentials. So that's the things I always got going through my head.
Is that it for that one?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, number 10. I've taken the advice of the Jules and stopped being pushy, pukey, plexus on the people I approach. I've had a bit more success. It seems though now that no one is willing to sign as an ambassador. No one is willing to commit. It's so frustrating. I see other ambassadors signing people left and right. What am I doing wrong? I'm passing out samples, giving a brief description of what Plexus is all about, how much money they can save as an ambassador, all the benefits thereof, etc. Please help.
Okay, so I honestly have no idea who put this question, but so they asked in here, what am I doing wrong? I would say the very first thing is you're comparing yourself. You're putting in, from what I'm reading in the question, I honestly don't know for sure, but I see other ambassadors signing people left and right. What am I doing wrong? Well, you're not those other ambassadors. You're on your own journey. Remind yourself of that along the way, that you cannot start to compare. You've heard us say it a bajillion times. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think Jana posted about it on our page just yesterday, maybe. Comparison will steal your joy. And you're always going to feel like, oh, I'm never going to sign as many people as Terry Paxton, or I'm never going to be on that corporate email like Nikki, or I'm never going to do this, or I'm never going to do that. You're always going to be comparing. I want to encourage y'all, embrace the journey that you are on. And when you are a silver ambassador, be stinking proud that you're a silver ambassador. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people come up and they're like, I'm just silver. Like, no, you're a plexus ambassador. Be proud of that. You're representing products in a company that can and have changed people's lives. Okay? So be proud of what you're doing. And I would say the other thing, and again, this is strictly by reading this particular question. It says, I'm passing out samples, giving a brief description of what Plexus is all about, and how much money they can save as an ambassador. It sounds to me, just by reading this question, that you're maybe not being quite personal enough, quite relational enough, okay? So here's what I mean by that. Jana and I talk a lot about leading with the business. So before we present, here's our Plexus business, we're going to talk to this person. I'm going to say, okay, Claire, tell me exactly what interests you about Plexus. And I'm going to list for her about 5 or 6 things that Plexus can do. In the middle of there somewhere, I'm going to throw weight loss. I never say weight loss first because it seems rude. So I may say, is it migraines? Is it diabetes control? Is it weight management? Is it pain management? Tell me what your needs are. Claire is then going to tell me what her needs are, and I'm going to tell her what products would be best for her. So I've listened to her. I'm going to empathize with what she's going through as well, and make sure, pray that God gives you true empathy on that so that it's coming across legit and it is being legit. I'm going to tell Claire, man, I had no idea you had these migraines. I am so sorry that you're suffering with that. Here are the products I would recommend for you. I'm going to keep it super personal. I'm not going to go into, well, the triplex costs this for preferred, retail, and ambassador. Like, I'm just, keep the salesiness out of it and keep it, it's going to be different for every person you message and every person you talk to, because no two people are alike. It's always going to be a little bit different. There's a lot of it that's always going to be the same too. Obviously our products don't change. The prices don't change. The business doesn't change. But keep it as much about that person that you're talking to, as much about them as you possibly can. And I think that will probably help.
I think we can move on. I think she said it all.
What method do you use for follow-up with those that you have talked to, keeping track of who and when to follow up with? What is the one thing you wish you had known early on that you know now?
I honestly don't have a super great method. If you guys ever were to be around me too long, you would notice there's certain things in my life that are fairly organized and then other things in my life that aren't at all. And while I have tried so many different things in this business to be like, okay, I'm going to be organized here and I'm going to make files and I'm going to do all this stuff, I never keep up with it. So the best thing I ever did was get a planner. And yeah, I'm talking about follow-up here. I'm getting to that part. Is get a planner, and in my planner, I have a little tab where I have a tab about follow-up, and I list the people there that I need to follow up with, and I just put out to the side when I followed up with them. It is nothing fancy. It's written in a pencil, but I try to keep it there, and I have it there in my planner. So I take that planner with me everywhere. And if I'm sitting at a doctor's office with one of my kiddos, I pull out that planner and I can follow up with someone real quick that I haven't followed up with in a while. I can just flip the page and write it down, and that's my only method. I don't have a super great method. And then the one thing I wish I'd known early on, I've already kind of answered that. I wish I had known that I needed to personally reach out to people, but we've already talked about that. Amber, do you have a super great method? Because I bet you do.
You know how organized I am, Jana. I honestly, this sounds like a cop-out, but my answer to this is your organizational method, everybody's is going to look different because we all have different personalities. I've got a friend of mine that'll send me over spreadsheets, and I'm just like, oh, Like they completely overwhelm me. I look at them and my mind just, oh, I'm not a fan. But she thrives on them. She loves them. And she keeps herself really organized with them. And she's smiling at me right now. Anyways, but everybody's organizational methods are going to look a little bit different. Some people use like a card catalog kind of thing. Somebody, what is the other one they use? Like a 3x5 thingamadilly. Yeah. Anyways, that's a real word. I actually do mine a lot like Jana does hers. I keep them in my organizer, or I even have a separate notebook where sometimes I'll do it. Katrina, I don't have spreadsheets to send you, honey, because they completely overwhelm me and my brain literally can't handle them. So, sorry. I'll have my friend Claire write on that for you.
Katrina is really trying to get us organized. It's gonna be a challenge, Katrina. I hope you're up for a good challenge, because I open up Excel and get a headache. So I just pull out my pencil and paper. All right, Linda, I think we can move on.
And what are some tips to keep preferred customers, and then how do you help them move on into ambassadors? I'm getting some more preferred customers than ambassadors.
You want me to answer this one, Amber?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so first of all, you guys know, and if you don't know, then you need to go watch the video. We lead with the business. We have a video. It's probably one of the best videos. Well, we haven't made a ton of them, but it's one of the best ones we did make. Amber and I made a video a while back on leading with the business. I can bump it up to the top of our Slim Sisters page. We are big believers in it because it works. It was something we read from Sarah Robbins' book, and I'm not going to go into details about how it works. So when someone comes to me, and if they're going to sign up with me, they're always going to end up, most of the time, they're going to end up as an ambassador. I would say 85% of the time they are. But then again, I've given them options, which is what that video is all about. And so, every great once in a while, then they sign up as a customer. When they do sign up as a customer, I will actually, I try to make sure that I get a hold of them within their first week. I give them directions. And then a few weeks later, I follow up with them. I make sure that they are happy on their products. I am a firm believer that just about everybody can be happy on our products. They just have to be on the right products and the right regimen. And so you have to work with them. You need to know our products. There's lots of ways to do that as well. Lots of videos and lots of training you can do to know our products. But I think that when they are happy with our products, then it's easy to get them to transition into ambassador. So after when the first 30 days are up, or even a lot of times when I see when their next run date is, I'll contact them a couple days ahead and just say, hey, your order's fixing to go through. I just want you to know you're loving the products. We found the right regimen for you. You ought to really consider becoming a wholesale ambassador because you're buying the Triplex and X Factor. You're going to save a lot of money doing it this way. And sometimes they don't want to do it. And if they don't want to do it, I don't force them to do it. I don't push them into it. I just throw the option out there. If you are pushy, you're going to turn people off. Just give them the options. People like options, and that's how I do it. And then a lot of times, they will upgrade, but most of the time I sign people up as an ambassador right off the beginning. So, do we have certain instructions that we give people? Yes. And there's some things, if you'll go to the files tab on the Slim Sisters page, you'll see a couple files there with instructions that we give people. So that's definitely on there. Did I answer that whole question? I think we did.
Good.
Yeah.
This one's kind of a tag along from that one. It says, I would love for you to talk about follow-up, reaching out with your wholesale ambassadors that just coast along. Well, this goes into the ambassadors too. Keep their auto ship turned on, but appear to not have any desire to work the business. Do you reach out to them on a regular basis, or just let them do their thing because they appear happy with that?
I personally, a quick answer, I reach out to them, make sure they're still happy, let them know that the business is there if they ever want it. I don't push them. And sometimes they decide they want the business, and sometimes they will. I've got wholesale ambassadors that have been with me for over 2 years, and they don't want the business. They just want to get their products at wholesale. So I will never push them into anything, but I will let them know that the option's there. Amber, do you want to add to that?
I mean, I kind of already addressed this from an earlier question, so.
Yep.
Okay, what do you do when you're doing everything that you should be doing, like the unofficial list of great things to do and practice, etc., and your business still isn't growing that much or quickly? And or how do you identify if there's a glitch or slip up in something that you're doing that might make a big difference in your business if you can identify it to change it?
Jana's already told me that I have to answer this question, that she won't answer it. It's a tough one. This is a tough question. Okay, I think the biggest answer I could give to this is if you keep doing what you've always been doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So you've got to do some examination to figure out what needs to be changed. This may very well be something that needs to be changed, not just in your business. This could be something, remember, this business is so relational. You're not only getting people to want to join Plexus, you're getting people to want to join your Plexus team. Now, don't get me wrong from something I said earlier. It still is business. It's not personal, okay? But they're joining your team for a reason. There are people on Facebook that are friends with both me and Linda, but Linda knows them better. They're going to join her team for that reason. But Linda also may be presenting herself a little bit different than I'm presenting myself. So, in other words, you want to be careful that you are, let me think about how to word this exactly, that you are making yourself, look at me, my air quotes, okay, this reminds me of Friends, you are making yourself attractive enough so that other people want to join your team. Now, I'm not talking about physically attractive, okay? Don't go to the tanning bed and color your hair, and that's not what I mean. But they want to join you for a reason. You want people to want to join you. So make sure that in everything that you're posting on Facebook, in the way that you're just presenting yourself, that you're coming across as someone who's credible, that you're coming across as someone who knows for sure what they're talking about, that you're coming across as someone who's an overall positive person, and that may be something you have to pray for. I struggled. I posted something on Facebook, and almost right when I posted it today, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't post that. Maybe it's too negative. And then I reread it, and I thought, no, I'm giving God the glory for all this junk that's happening. I think it's okay. But if I'm constantly posting negative, if I'm constantly posting kind of, what is she talking about, kind of off the wall kind of things, then I jump in and I try to present Plexus. It's just not going to work. It just isn't. So I encourage you, if this is where you're at, let me read the question again. What do you do when you're doing everything that you should be doing, like the official list of great things to do and practice, and your business still isn't growing? Well, first of all, like we mentioned earlier, don't compare. But look at what you're doing on a daily basis. Take out your daily method of operation out of it, your Plexus daily method of operation, and just look at what you're doing in your life on a daily basis to see if what you're doing and how you're presenting yourself is going to make people want to join your team. Does that make sense? Or did I just like beat all around that bush? Yeah, are we good? Okay. Terry.
It was good. You did good, Amber.
All right.
Okay. What's your best advice when a customer purchased retail instead of preferred? Some of my customers purchase retail because they do not want that money coming out every month. How do you get them to make that decision over retail?
Well, I think if you'll watch our leading with the business video, I don't even offer retail to people. When someone signs up with me, somewhere on the Slim Sisters page too, I've got this little spill that I send people. I give them 2 options. That's the only options I give them, ambassador or preferred. And so when they sign up with me, when I tell them preferred, when I go into the preferred option, I will tell them that it's cheaper. You're getting monthly shipments, and I make that a positive thing. It is a positive thing. I say, you're going to get a monthly shipment, so you're not going to run out of your products. And then I tell them, and I can cancel it for you at any time. If you don't want to mess with canceling it, just send me a text. No questions asked. I will cancel it for you. And I truly keep that promise. I don't try to coax them into staying on. I don't beg them to stay on. That kind of stuff will turn people off. So, if you've already got retail customers, though, and now you're trying to get them to be preferred, the best thing you can do is to make sure that they find success on the products. Do your research and learn our products. Learn the different regimens that there are out there, because there are several. Several people mentioned that. The one I have in the back office of Slim Sisters is what I recommend to everyone. I start everybody on the triplex, and I have a certain way I do it. It's very simple. If you overwhelm them with regimens to where they're, okay, at 10 o'clock, take this. Now at noon, take this. And then at 3 o'clock, take this. And then take this before bed and drink your pink drink. The first thing you do when you get up in the morning, you're going to totally overwhelm them. I'm a big believer in keeping it simple when they start. You've got to keep it simple. And so if you, though, help them find the right regimen and find happiness on the products, it's easy then to make them a preferred customer. Because all you got to do is go say, hey, it's cheaper. And you're not going to run out of products like you did last month and you had to borrow products from me. So just focus right now on them. Don't focus on, I got to get them preferred. I got to get them preferred. Focus on getting them happy with the products, and it's easy to get them to become a preferred customer. I think that answered that, maybe. I hope so.
Sounded good.
Wow.
Okay, how is the best way to use opportunity calls?
Are we talking about the weekly opportunity calls that corporate does?
That's what I was thinking from this question. I think so. I would think opportunity calls, diamond documentaries, I would think those would all kind of tie together.
Well, I'll just throw this out. Y'all are going to listen to next week's opportunity call. Yours truly. I'm just saying, you're going to want to spread that one all over the place. Anyway, especially if Jana gets on there with me and she could be in the background laughing. Opportunity calls, diamond documentaries. So I love diamond documentaries. I honestly think that they're some of our most underutilized tools. I think of my friend, my buds Josh and Valerie Robinson. They're on here. Valerie is a nurse. She wants to be able to stay at home with her kids. Guess whose diamond documentary I sent her? Sarah Marble's. Sarah Marble was a nurse, was able to quit her job because of plexus, and now stays at home with her kids. Get familiar with those diamond documentaries. I think they can be huge. People keep texting me. My computer keeps dinging. Anyways, so familiarize yourself with those. Let people, when you know someone who's a guy and he's super athletic, Coach Ronnie Cuevas has a great diamond doc. You know someone who's in the ministry, Jerry and Deborah Lawson, they're pastor and pastor's wife, great diamond documentaries. They're both diamonds. Someone who homeschools their kids, send them Wendy Larson's. I love those things. And like I said, I think they're really underutilized. The opportunity calls, I would just send these to people the same way I would do the diamond documentary. And what I would say is, hey, I heard this, or I watched this and it made me think of you. Not, you've got to see this plexus story, just this made me think of you. And shoot it over to them. Again, that's keeping it really personal. It's also not throwing up plexus on people. So anyway, that's my recommendation on that.
Okay. Customers just want to try the products first, so they order retail. Then after a month, they say it didn't work for them. Then I feel bad because it didn't work for them. What is the best way to get them to keep on ordering after the first month, even after checking up on them periodically during that first month?
Okay, so as you heard me mention earlier, I'm actually a big believer that our products will work for the vast majority of people if they find the right products for them and they find the right regimen for them. So that's huge. We've already discussed that. And one thing I want you to remember, when someone says the products didn't work for me, I can't tell you how many times people have come to me, they've quit on me earlier, and they've said, it didn't work. And I'm thinking, it didn't work? Like, really? Like, you were really taking the products like I told you to? You were really drinking your water? Like, you didn't miss any days? And sometimes they ho-hum around the question, or sometimes they would just flat out be like, Yeah, it didn't work. 6 months later, I could list off people's names. I won't, but I could tell you people that are probably on this call right now that 6 months later came to me, hey, I still have like 20 packs of Slim in my pantry. Can you give me a routine to start up again? Well, that's interesting because you told me you took that 30 pack. You told me you took it every single day. I don't really say that, but in my head, I'm thinking it. So you have to remember that when people are telling you, yes, I'm doing what you said to do, that really could just mean they're taking it every fourth day. It really could. Well, you're not going to get results when you're doing that. I also want you to change your thinking before you get that retail customer, you need to tell them, I need you to give me 60 days. Before you don't, and I'll tell people, please don't even sign up with me. If you're not going to give it 60 days and take it very consistently and drink your water, and they know then I'm serious about this, that, hey, this will work for you, but you have to do what I'm asking you to do. So you need to partner with me and give it 60 days. So then automatically then I'm going to tell them, you ought to just be a preferred customer though. That way then 30 days into it, I don't have to, rush you over some products across town because you've ran out because you forgot to order again. So, I wish you guys knew how many people I think of a girl right now who ordered from me for months and then came back and said it doesn't work. Probably a year later sends me a picture on her counter of like 3 bags of Slim that had never been opened, bottles of ProBio. And I'm going, well, my goodness, I wonder why it didn't work. It's kind of like your Bible. It doesn't work unless you open it and read it, right? I'm just saying, the products don't work if you don't open that little package and put it in your mouth. So, yeah.
She said it, y'all. She said it. Well,
it's just true. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's true.
It's true.
All right. Hopefully that answered. I think we're down to the last question.
Down to the last question. I know that it's best to talk to potential so they can hear the excitement and belief in your voice. So I would like to start using more videos on Facebook instead of only posting the same old, same old. So do you have any suggestions for creating good videos?
I love this idea. I just want to mention, don't replace your posting just with videos because people won't watch it. My suggestions for creating videos, keep them short and sweet, get straight to the point, and keep them as creative as you can. There's so much entertainment, so much media out there. Keep it funny, have a good background, something, but keep them short, and just remember that people are seeing media all day long. Now that doesn't mean you have to be, this, Steven Spielberg or another good producer, to make a Plexus movie or a Plexus video. Hey, let's make a Plexus movie. We should totally do that. A Plexus video. I'm just saying, keep it short and sweet. If you can, at least every once in a while, make them creative, make them funny, have good stuff in there so that people really want to watch them. Because unless someone has caught the vision of this business or they really, really know the products already, they're probably not going to take a ton of time to watch videos. Yeah, so that's it. Do you make them on your iPhone? I would say yes. There's also a really good app called iMovie. It's an Apple app. If you have a Mac or you have an iPhone, you can edit movies in there. You can add little titles. You can add little music, and it's pretty easy to operate. I think the one on the iPhone is even easier to work than on the Mac. And that's how you've seen a few videos that me and Jana have done. I've maybe added our names or something on there. And it's really simple. And I mean, even something that you're creating where you don't have to be real elaborate with it, but maybe as you're, talking through a couple of our products in a video, maybe on the screen you have the product name or something like that, just to hold their attention a little bit better. So, are we good? Is that the last one?
That was the last one.
Thank you guys for sticking with us through all those questions. I hope you guys learned something. It was fun for me and Amber just to be able to sit down and address a lot of questions because, sometimes we get a lot of questions behind the scenes. So this was kind of neat to be able to address a lot of them. And I hope you guys learned something. I really hope you did. So we will have another call soon, and we'll have a new exciting guest so you guys don't have to listen to us all the time. But Linda, thank you so much for doing this.
It was fun.
You were a great host.
I do have a question though. Linda, you put in the chat, I'm cuter. Who are you cuter than?
Oh, Katrina said something about that. Where did she put that? She said, you're a much better host than Alex Trebek. And I said, thank you.
Oh, gotcha.
You're much cuter, Linda. Much cuter.
Well, I got to say.
Thank you for asking me. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
My parents met Alex Trebek one time and said he was not nice either. You're much nicer.
Thank you.
Anyway, I've asked our mom, Conluli, or Connie. Her screen name says Conluli. I've asked her to close us in prayer. So Mom, and if you guys look really careful, behind the wall, behind Mom is an old family picture. You can see a really old picture of me and Jana. Anyway, Mom, I just unmuted you. If you would, just close us in prayer.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. And Lord, we thank you for this weekend and for what it means. We praise God that we serve a living Savior. Now, Lord, I pray that you'll help each and every person on here, help them to apply what they've learned tonight and help our team to grow and bring glory and honor to your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good night, best team ever. You guys truly are the best team ever. In case you didn't know.
Resurrection Day.
That's right. You guys have a good Easter.
You okay?
Thank you, ladies.
They're dropping like flies. Why do we do this? Why do we stick around and watch people leave the call?
It's just fun.
Happy Easter to you too.
We see who the really committed ones are, the ones that are really, really willing to stick with us, Amber. Now no one's going to hang up.
Was Jeannie in Facebook jail?
Is Jeannie on here?
Jeannie Giddings? Is that who you're talking about, Terry? Jeannie Giddings? She was on here? It's hard to.
I know. I don't see everybody.
You're the one talking, yeah. Ew.
Yeah, my mom did you just see what Mom texted us?
Yes, that's a weird picture. All right, welcome to the after party. Oops, right when I said that, someone else just hung up. Like, I'm
Too
out.
late. Sorry. How's everybody doing? Can we get a bloopers replay? Yeah, Jeannie was in jail. Jeannie and Dawn were both in jail. But it's really weird, all the people that got put in jail over that map, all of them got the notice that it was supposed to be April 1st when they got out of jail. And they all got out of jail yesterday. You know, Kim Waller was in jail. And for some reason, we're still recording, Amber. For some